Hey Canucks fans, welcome to the channel. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad you're here because tonight we're talking about the big trade that happened today. Dakota Joshua, listen, this is crazy. This is crazy. The Vancouver Canucks traded Dakota Joshua to the Toronto Maple Leafs for a 2028 fourth round pick. This is a salary dump. We're going to be talking about this all video long. The implications, why, and most importantly, what's next for the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to hit all avenues of this trade. And you might think it's just a minor trade that doesn't mean anything. I would disagree. I would disagree. This actually is a really decent trade for the Vancouver Canucks and for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we're going to dive into it in just a second. Going to hit the promo and then let's get into it. Glad that you're here. Well, everyone, it's been rumored that Dakota Joshua was on the trading block. They were considering moving him. He was a trade piece. There was lots of rumors, everyone, lots and lots of rumors about what was going on here. For example, the Rossi trade was apparently going to be Dakota Joshua and the 15th pick overall for the Vancouver Canucks this year. And apparently, I don't know if this is true, but the Minnesota Wild laughed. They laughed. They like, that is not good enough. That was a rejected move. And so his name was already in it. Bluger's been in a lot of speculation of potential being moved as well. And so here it is, a fourth round pick. What is the deal with the Vancouver Canucks trading for fourth round picks? Like, are we stockpiling? Do they know something about fourth round picks that the rest of the world does not know? I mean, it is so, and I'm not upset, but it is so rare for you to hit on a fourth round, fifth round, sixth round draft pick. It happens, but I mean, even if it does, like when do you see that? Like, this is a 2028 pick, okay? Not upset, just passionate. 2028 pick. Okay. So in a few seasons, 3 seasons, we're going to draft them. And then in 4 to 5 years, if he makes it, we'll see him in a Canucks uniform. Like this. Congrats, Toronto. I mean, what else can you do? I understand why Canuck fans are frustrated with this deal. I'm not frustrated with this trade. Of course, would I like more back for him? 100%. 100%. But in saying that, listen to me. Let's talk about why, and then let's talk about what's next, because this, in my opinion, has got some implications. But the big question I want to ask you, please post in the comments, okay? Also, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it costs you nothing to do that. That would be great. Do you see, the big question is, do you see the Canucks plan, or are you just disappointed we gave up Joshua for nothing? I mean, we got something for him, but it's not great. It is not great. My goodness. Post in the comments, everyone. Appreciate you. If you're in the live chat, great. It'll be great to connect with you. I'm going to get into your comments in just a few minutes. And then also, if you're watching later, please not only hit the like and subscribe button, but leave a comment, because I love to interact. I love Canucks questions. Okay, let's dive into the why. The why. Why did we do this trade? Why was this a thing? Well, the Vancouver Canucks were over the cap and needed some more extra playing room. And Dakota Joshua was a $3.25 million player times 4 years. I was very surprised to see them try to lock him up for 4 years, and then a year later, after cancer, mind you, they let him go. They let him go, and that was surprising to me. And so what it does is Canucks' current salary cap room is $3.27 million, which that's the good news. That's the good news. What the bad news is he's a big forward, gritty, and can score against in the playoffs. Scored a couple big goals in the playoffs. Everyone, that's important. That's what the Leafs are looking for, right? That's the Leafs. Like, if you think about this, they give up a 4th round pick for a guy who's big, like tall, good size, hits a lot, and can score some timely goals. He's a 18 to 20 goal player per season if he's healthy. So that's why. So the Leafs got a steal of a deal in Joshua. Right now, he's listed on their third on the left wing with Nicholas Roy at center and Bobby McCann on the right wing, and this is their third line. They're trying to copy the Florida Panthers third line that can also play well. I think Joshua slips in there and slots in as a great third line left winger and can play second line minutes if there's injuries. Like, to me, there's no risk that the Toronto Maple Leafs did, other than like he doesn't produce to his level of $3.25 million. Like, that is they overpay a lot of players. They got him on a decent deal. I mean, he didn't play much last season. I would say he had 2 great games, and the rest got injured. He didn't play much at all. A lot of people were predicting a bounce back year for Dakota Joshua. I thought that he would have a bounce back year as well. What does bounce back mean? Well, we're about to find out. Now, let's talk about a couple things when it comes to this, because first of all, it's a salary dump. Second of all, it could be a salary dump to make room for a trade. It also could mean that we could go after a free agent right now. It could mean a lot of things, and we're going to, excuse me, dive into it. I wish I brought some water. Do I have any left in here? Always stay hydrated. Okay, cool. So I guess like the way I'm coming across is I kind of sound depressed. I'm not depressed. I'm not upset. This is the other thing. Okay. Let me just clearly say this to all Canucks fans right now. When's the last time you were happy with a trade? I've noticed in my life, most trades I'm very unhappy with. I don't like them. We overpay, but it's the cost of doing business. The Canucks have been quick to try to fix problems, and we've moved out a lot of players, and we're talking about a lot of players. We'll talk about that another day. But not that Joshua is a problem, is that we got in a jam, and people are like, why didn't they trade Höglander? Well, Höglander was terrible last year, and he's not big, and Joshua is the one that people would say, oh, I'll make a move for him. Like, it's hard to believe that Dakota Joshua just went for a 4th round pick. That's it. Teams don't want Nils Höglander. They would have given you a 6th round pick for him. You know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they say, no, that's not a guy we want on our roster, on a radar. Who wants Nils Höglander? As a Canucks fan, I want to keep Höglander and Joshua, but to be able to do, they were in a bind with the contracts they extended people for. And remember, the Demko one does not kick in this season. It kicks in next season. And they had to move some money out. They also need to pay Quinn Hughes in the following season. So there's a method to the madness, right? So this is what I keep hearing, and I want to run it by you guys because I don't think it's the same thing, but everyone keeps saying that basically we traded Evander Kane for a fourth round pick and Dakota Joshua for a fourth round pick. That's the trade. We basically traded Evander Kane and Joshua. That's what we did. We traded for and traded out so we could afford. Well, the good news is this. If you just make that comparison, and I don't think it's the same thing because, well, maybe it is because maybe Evander Kane is the left winger that we've been looking for. Again, 1 year, Okay, yeah. So he's the left winger we've been looking for, okay? So we traded a top 6 left winger for a bottom 6 left winger. Now we had to pay $2 more million for Kane to come, but I think Kane is more of a consistent scorer. Got good size as well. It's just too bad they couldn't have them both. Like it was. I was getting excited about the season. You got Kane, and you had Joshua, and you have Sherwood all on that. Like that gets me a little bit excited. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, basically, if this is the comparison, we traded for Kane, who was a top 6 forward, for a bottom 6 Joshua. And some people say, oh, Kane's a third line player. Well, not on our team and not on the Edmonton Oilers. So say whatever you want. I mean, maybe there were times where he played on the third line, but they wanted him playing good minutes with the big boys. So this comparison is very, very interesting. Absolutely very interesting. The one thing that everyone believes is happening with this trade is that now they're going to go get UFA Jack Roslovic, that he is the answer. Do you think he is the answer? Is unrestricted free agent, the best out of what they would consider the bargain bin, the answer? How much would Roslovic cost? That is the question that we're going to probably find out, or someone's going to find out. Like, what is the answer for this player? And this is my assessment. I don't mind him. And if they end up going to get him, and then this is what it is that they're sitting there and they're going, you know what? It's like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to think that he's the perfect answer, because he's not. He's not. But I like his consistency. The thing about Roslovic is I think he's a really good third line center. That's what I think. You know what I mean? That's what I think. He's a really good third line center who can play second line center minutes when necessary. Okay? That's my personal opinion. And I don't think he's a bad player. I just think, does he move the needle is the question. And maybe he does. Maybe this is the need at second line center is so important, depending on maybe Heedle's health. They know what's going on, and they say, not only has he had many concussions, that he's not responding well. And we got to go get that center. So that's one of the answers. Unrestricted free agent. Or we can talk about trade. But before we do that, let's talk about this first. What if the plan is we just moved cap space to either have Abbotsford men come up, or Abbotsford players? Maybe I shouldn't put Abbotsford men. I mean, they're not women. So Abbotsford Canucks maybe come up, or give our Canucks flexibility in a trade later, or currently, or at the trade deadlines, that trade deadline, or I got to put or signing. So of course I messed this up. Why wouldn't I, right? I'll repost this. Okay. What if the plan is we just moved cap space to either have I shouldn't put it Abbotsford Canucks. Why did I put? I knew when I wrote Abbotsford, man, that would be dumb. Okay, let's start all over. What if the plan is we just move cap space to either have Abbotsford Canucks come up or give our Canucks flexibility in a trade now, or trade the trade deadline or sign some kind of UFA? What if that is what if that's the key? Okay, what if that's the key? It could be any one of these three things. We actually don't at all need to do anything with this Joshua trade. A lot of fans are going to be like, so what are we doing? And if we get into the season and we still don't have anyone planned or there's no extra trade done, it just gives us the flexibility, everyone, to do a whole bunch of things. Because let's be honest, 3.2 million isn't that great. It's not that great. It's better than what we had, but it's not that great. And maybe the plan is to wait until the trade deadline and say, hey, now it gives us a little flexibility. We can make a move happen that we normally wouldn't be able to do. They don't have to move it at all, because let's talk about those Abbotsford Canucks for a second. Does Carlson or Baines or Leckermacky replace Joshua? Like, that's why they don't have to do anything at this stage. If Heedle's healthy, you got Pedersen, Heedle, Bluger, and Ratu as your four centermen. And you got an opportunity to bring up Carlson or Baines or Leckermacky to replace Joshua. And maybe the way that Baines was playing was sitting there and you're going, you know what? He's the next Joshua. The Surrey sensation. Love it. Local boy. That would be awesome if he replaced that at a fraction of the price. Carlson deserves every opportunity to make this club. Maybe it's Carlson that's on that third line. Should have been MVP maybe of the Calder Cup. Played a number of games last year in the NHL for us. Trying to make that big jump and big step. I mean, that's a guy there right there. Leckermacky needs some spots to play. He usually plays on the right wing. I think he can play a little bit of center. This is realistic in my opinion. Like, we might have just moved Joshua out to have the room to make it so these guys actually play. There's a lot to think about. See, when it's just a minor trade, who cares? Is 100, like it's a player. Like, what was Joshua? Wasn't he a 5th round pick or something like that? I mean, he's going back to Toronto where he was. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Then there's these other trades that people keep bringing up. They're convinced that we are on the verge of making a trade, and let's just talk about them all here for a moment. Okay? Mason McTavish, number one guy. Everyone's like, so this means that we're going to get Mason McTavish. Now, I'm going to play along. Okay? I'm going to play along with you. I'm going to be with all the Mason McTavish. He's coming to Vancouver people. Okay? Even though I do not think, first of all, I don't think Anaheim's trading him. Second of all, if they do, I highly doubt he's coming to Vancouver. Now, if he does come to Vancouver, that would be awesome, depending on what we have to give up. But everyone thinks that Mason McTavish is the answer to the 2C problem in Vancouver. That may or may not be true. It could be true. Could be true. I don't think the Vancouver Canucks are going to get him. But what would it cost at this stage? You just traded away Joshua. It was the guy who was the trade chip in there. You drafted Coots, so do you move him right away? Or do you trade Leckermacky, Carlson, Baines, Mancini, DPD? I feel like I'm missing someone. Vilander, that's the third one. Like, which couple of those players you all package together? Because they aren't going to be like, hey, let's just give us a Höglander and we'll call it a day. Nope. What would it cost? Honestly, like what would it cost? Like, people are like, we'll give up our first round pick this year, our second round pick. We'll give up Leckermacky. We'll give up who else? I mean, it's going to be a lot of pieces, don't you think? I think if you're mad at the Joshua trade, you're going to be really mad at the Mason McTavish trade. That's what I think. Because I just don't see it. Now, maybe there's some people in the comments that are saying right now that. So here's Kevin says, for example, if there's any chance for McTavish, you do it to give up. Give up Garland, Coots, Leckermacky, Vilander. You do them all. That is mind blowing, man. To me, I think this makes us worse. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. River Rat says Amon, Mancini, and Höglander. What if you were Anaheim? Would you do that deal? This one's steep. It's really steep. And Kevin is saying that McTavish is worth it, and Dell is saying that Hedl is damaged goods. Thanks, New York. I don't know why they didn't trade Dell for Cooley instead of Hedl. I don't think McTavish is that good, Major Minor. That's my personal opinion. Rod, if they trade Coots, I'll blind myself. Hey, Canucks land, good to see you, man. I've really enjoyed following your TikTok channel. So thanks, Jen. It's been fun interacting with you. I think it has to be cap space for the season. You need room. I agree. Okay, just talking about I'm with you, Calvin. I think that Kevin's thing, even though I appreciate it, I think it's too much. Yeah, and Jack, you're right. People will be mad no matter what because of the attachment to their own players. I mean, if you bought a Joshua jersey, wouldn't you be upset right now? I would be. Like, what Canuck player would you want a jersey of right now? Like, it's like everyone's on the trade block. Now, I mean, obviously, EP40, you could go get one. Quinn Hughes, it's still a risk. You could go get a Besser one. Maybe you already have one. You're just thankful he didn't get traded because that was going to be worth like $99. Probably could do a Demko jersey at this stage. Lankinen, maybe. Obviously, Quinn Hughes is the one you want, but what if he doesn't come back? Like, there's lots going on. Sherwood, of course, I would love a Sherwood jersey, but does he resign? Kevin says McTavish is stuck in third line minutes. I mean, on a terrible team. Why isn't he a second line center? I mean, okay. I'm not the biggest Pettersson fan. You know that. Everyone knows that. But still scoring more than Pettersson this last year. Every single other year, he's outscored him, right? Like, they're not on the same level. Like, would you trade Pettersson for McTavish? I wouldn't. I mean, maybe I should. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Oh yeah, and then that's the other guy I forgot. Jared McCann. Thank you so much. Is an option too. Let me add Jared McCann because that's a great point. That was the guy I couldn't remember who to. Jared McCann from Seattle. Okay, so let's just quickly talk about these ones. Okay. So I think that McTavish isn't coming to Vancouver, but if he does, I don't know what I would give up for him that would make me happy personally. I think a lot of Canuck fans will be like, well, we did something. He's young. He's got talent. There you go. Marco Rossi, I'm still open to this deal. I just think the deal's dead. I think they've moved on. That's why they ended up re-signing Besser back. That's why they went and got Kane. That's why they traded Joshua away, is because they tried to trade him in that deal and they couldn't do it. But I still would have liked to have seen him in a Canucks uniform. A lot of people are really angry about that when myself or anyone else says, you'd be open to it. It's like, too small. Well, I agree. Excuse me. But the Canucks literally tried to trade for him. So I don't know, like, what to tell you. You can say he's not the right fit, but the Vancouver Canucks obviously felt that he was the right fit. Interesting, hey? Totally interesting. Now, Evan Rodriguez, I like him a lot from Florida, okay? But guys, like, we're talking, let's go to that. Let's go to that. Because excuse me, why is my throat doing what it's doing? Oh, this is why. They are $3.725 million over the cap, everyone. Let me just show you. This is why Jafan 4 keeps saying this in all my comments and stuff. This is great. So, yeah, look at this. $3.725 million in the hole. They got to move out some money. And if you look at the money, Rodriguez makes $3 million. He's a center winger, right-handed shot guy. That could be. That could be the one right there. Because my Marchand deal, that's 5.25, 37-year-old, no movement clause, cannot be traded without his permission. And they're locked in. I mean, Rodriguez looks like, or, I mean, I don't think you give away. Is it Leister Nenen? I don't know. I always forget his name. I don't think, I mean, he would be good too, 26-year-old, but Rodriguez is 31. Yeah, he's got to be on the chopping block, right? Because defenseman-wise, they don't want to move any of these guys. None of them. They're locked in. They could win another 2 Stanley Cups, everyone. They totally could. They totally could. Okay, let's bring this down and bring in this. This is the thing that's pretty interesting. Florida. Let's see if I can have. Where is the? Let's go to, like, this is what they're looking at. This is what our lines look like right now. Sassid, Bluger, and Drew O'Connor there on the fourth line with Höglander, Ratu, and Sherwood. Okay. It's not bad. It's not great. What's great is this, right? These guys are great. And then our goaltending is superb and healthy. Okay. Okay, let's go to Florida for a second. So Rodriguez plays with Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk. That has been a stellar line. A stellar line. Possible. There's still rumors about Dallas, everyone. Dallas, we're talking. And Jason Robertson, I don't know what it would take to get him, but boy, it'd be nice to have him. And if you look at his numbers, so Robertson makes $7.75 million. I don't know how they pull that off. 25-year-old, plays left and right. $7.75 million. Yeah, I don't see us making that. Okay, let's go to what Canuckland said and others have said regarding the Kraken. I think this one is realistic, everyone. You've got the top pick, Shane Wright, or is he the second pick overall, sitting there at third line center. McCann is a center. Your centers are stacked on this team, everyone. Absolutely stacked. McCann could be the guy. So if I just go look at his money wise, Seattle, go to McCann. He's got to be in his 30s, right? $5 million has a 10-team no trade list. Okay, 29. Left wing center guy we should have never traded in the first place. You know, that's a possibility. Wouldn't cost us an arm and a leg, I don't think. Maybe it would. Not sure. By the way, everyone, before I get into your comments, so glad that you're here. 145 people in the stream tonight. So pumped to have you here. If you want a Kempner Canucks hat, email me at kempnercanucks@gmail.com. Okay. I was going to pick them all up today. They weren't ready. I got to go tomorrow. I have 10 hats coming tomorrow. The ones that I think are going to be the hot sellers are going to be the black one that has the yellow skate. I don't know if I have this. I don't know if I have this one on. By the way, guys, did you see that the Ducks signed Dossel, the goalie, 5 years, $6.5 million AAV? He has not been great. He has not been great. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Okay. I don't know if you can see this or not. See that? That right there. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That's the one. I got a bunch of those. So message me if you want a hat, and we'll figure out shipping and hat cost, and we'll work it out. Got a number of people who are very interested, which is great. Have a feeling I'm going to sell out of those hats that I just got done. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I want to dive into your questions and comments because I really appreciate you. Let's go down. Oh my goodness. Major Minor again gifted another membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go. Mike got the sub. Well done. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for blessing Mike with a membership. That's great. Steven says, no wonder they traded Gibson. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not getting my hopes up on the Rodriguez trade at all. I imagine Florida puts Tkachuk on LTIR. Okay. That's the thing is when it comes to the trades, this is why I think it's more about the Abbotsford answer. And by the way, everyone, just a reminder, I made this video a long time ago, okay, that Abbotsford is the answer, that this is what the plan is. Now, whether you like that plan or not is a different story, but this is what I've been talking about the whole time, is that, you know what I mean? So it's honestly something to think about, right? And so out of these trades, I don't think McTavish is realistic. I think the Rossi ship is flown by. Maybe the Rodriguez one. I think the Rodriguez one could be it. Like they have to move out $3.7 million. They have to before the season starts. I think the Jason Robertson one is a long shot. I think Jared McCann, honestly, is probably the most realistic out of this whole list. That's my personal opinion. Christopher says, sad Pia Suter, then Sheila's, then Joshua. I mean, there are the guys that move the needle. They're all, yeah. I like Pia Suter. I liked his contract, all that kind of stuff. The team is definitely weaker unless we get Demko the Great. We could be in trouble. I think that's the case no matter what. Demko's health is majorly important. I love Sheila's, but I'm telling you right now, he's not playing on this roster. He's like the third goalie, and we were going to lose him to waivers, so we had to move him. We got something instead of nothing. Again, another 4th round pick. But I get it. Fans are upset. Suter's gone. Shelov's gone. Joshua's gone. Getting cap space is good. We don't need to find a second line center right away. I agree. Things change for many teams during the season. Absolutely. Justin says Dostal is a good goalie. Define good. Let's define good. He plays for the Ducks and has better save percentage than Lanky last year. Also young. Yeah, he is young. I don't know if I'd say he's a good goalie, but I mean, he can prove me wrong. Let's just quickly look at them. So if we go, for example, Anaheim, because we got to go look at excuse me. They have $22 million in cap space. Why do they need to make a deal? They don't. Okay. Isn't it nuts that Michael Granlund makes the most money on their team? Wow. They got to save money for when Carlson's deal comes up. McTavish is an RFA. They have to sign him. What's he want? What's he going to get, everyone? Let's just say 5.5 right now. 5.5. Let's go to him, okay? Stats-wise, 52 points, 42, 43. Better than Pettersson? Come on, man. He played 67 games, had 7 more points. Pettersson played 64, 65, got 45. I mean, aren't they the same? Okay, let's see. Dostal 6.5. I just think that's a lot of money for him. I'm not a fan, everyone, at this stage. Okay. Where's his stats? Right. What? Did I miss it? Oh, yeah, right here. 900 goals against. That's what we're talking about here. 3.1 steal of a deal into here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's okay. I don't think he's better than Lankinen, personally, but Florida might have some interest in their Abby guys now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could perform well in the Florida system, for sure. Jack says, I had Joshua on the 4th line to start. Not a big loss, in my opinion. Kane is a huge upgrade on him and replaces him. Abby guys will fill out the bottom 6. We're fine there. I think they're looking for a second line center. Yeah. Kevin says, to be fair, Kane makes us better than Suter and Joshua. Sheloves doesn't count for nothing. It's true. Fabry, a lot of people do like him, right? Is there no way we can Toronto the rest of OEL's contract? We can give them the rest of it. Kevin says Kane's the closest thing we could get to replace JT, and not a center, right? Canucks Land says next offseason is the year the Canucks can make a big splash. It's a big offseason. This is a great point, and this is what I've been talking to friends and people, that this year is not the year that they're going to fix all their problems. They're going to make significant changes to make a playoff push. I'm going to make a TikTok about this and a reel about this. And then next year, they want to re-sign Quinn Hughes and then want to be a contender. So even if we make the first round of the playoffs and lose, that's successful for us. With this roster, and they're going to reconstruct it. It's going to take at least, I think it's going to take this offseason and next offseason to fix all the problems that we have. So I'm with you, Canucks Land. I've been saying this for a while. Skytrain, Canuck, Elfrin, good to see you. the league wants teams to pay for their own buyout as a punishment for coming up with a terrible contract like the Oilers. 100%. He's just joking, by the way. That's what I says. I agree. I think Kane has a lot of similar elements to his game that Miller has. And yeah, exactly. Wishful thinking. You offer McCann and what Rodriguez will get $3 million. That's a good question. Let's go back to that one. Florida, right there. Let's bring this up so you guys can see it as well. Over the cap, as we saw, $3 million, everyone. What the guy I want is Lundell, but Anton Lundell is not going anywhere. That's the guy I want. You offer McCann $3 million. Okay, that's what you're saying. Sorry, I did all that for nothing. Let's go to Seattle. Go to Seattle again. $11 million in cap space. $5 million, everyone. That's you got to move money out. So you'd have to move like Höglander and then get McCann. That's what you have to do. It was basically Kane for Joshua in a way. I don't think it was, but if it is, that's a great trade for us. We get rid of the 4-year contract and go to a 1-year contract. We might end up re-signing Kane. You can trade a buyout by trading player with similar retaining salary, but that can be, it's too hard. Good point, Michael. Elfrin says, I have a feeling that this 2028 4th round pick we got from the Maple Laughs will be packaged for a 2C. Who wants 4th line centers or 4th line picks or 4th round picks? Yes, I did see the new CBA. Yeah, I talked about this in my video, the Quinn Hughes video, why I think that Quinn Hughes is staying, that we can offer him an 8-year deal. And absolutely, I think he's staying. Raquel is definitely a guy. Let's bring that up as well. Pittsburgh, a lot of people have talked about him. Thank you for reminding me about him. So $13 million, $5 million again. A lot of people want Rust. I mean, do you want this guy, everyone? And how come we haven't traded for him already? So he's a winger on Malcolm's second line. That's what he is. Okay, management likes their Penguins for sure. Rat says Bluger, Leckermacky, and a couple draft picks for a second line center. Am I dreaming? I mean, it depends which one. 28 4th round pick for Mason McTavish. Do it. I would do that. We're not as good as this year. I like what when we had JT Miller or post JT Miller. I think that our team is a lot closer to the playoffs than you think. All those injuries really affected us. McTavish will get at least 7.5 on a bridge, maybe 8.5 on a 7-year deal. We should try to lock that up. Got to move money out in order to do that, though, right? Yeah, Angela, we got a black hole or unknowns at center, which is scary. Out of all the current signings, which ones do you think is going to go age horribly? The one that's going to age horribly, in my opinion, the two that are going to age poorly, potentially like ruin the franchise, is Pettersson if he does not bounce back. But probably the Demko one is the most risky one because of the injuries history. But you could do LTIR, and I think you'd be okay. I don't think the Besser one's going to kill us. I don't think the Kane one's not going to kill us. Garland's not going to kill us. You're going to get the same thing from him every year. And just says this roster sucks now. I mean, it does it. So we've lost She Loves, Suter, Juleson, Dakota Joshua, and now we're worse. How much cap room do we have next year? Roy, that's a great question. I don't know if they show that. Yeah, I don't know where you find that. Cap projections? Yeah, so it says we'll have 20 million next year. 20 million next year at this stage. If we don't re-sign anyone. I mean, that's our window, right? Okay, there you go. Mike's kind of answered that question. Hughes or Makar will probably be the last 8-year contracts in the league. Quinn will make way more money with us than New Jersey. He's putting up $30 million off the table if he goes anywhere else. UFA is max 6 years. They can do a sign and trade, Jack, so don't forget that. So Quinn Hughes is going to make bank wherever he goes. Sweet. Dell, I just got your email. Let's do it. Okay. I do think Quinn Hughes is re-signing. I think he's going to – I've got a prediction of how much money I think he's going to make. I think it's going to be 8-year deal for ridiculous amounts of money, and we should do it. Canuckland says, no way you can get a middle six guy for just 1 year at under $3.27 million. So Canucks need to just play their best hockey this season with what we have. Yeah, I agree. Kevin says Jared McCann would play way better back in Vancouver, likely more cap than we got available. Yeah, he's making $5 million. Exactly. Think McKenna, Hedel, and Demko get injured again. EP40 not training this summer, and we're all set. Yeeks. That would be awful. McKenna would be awesome. The Canucks with their luck are not winning the draft lottery. I'm pretty sure Canucks will do everything they can get an answer to Quinn before the season ends. 100%. Kevin says no to Rust. Better just to suck. Calvin says RevTrev on Puckpedia. There is a roster set up. I made one. You can make one for a quick video or stream. I made 2 trades for my roster. I've seen that. I've tried it, but there's one that's really cool and it shows their numbers and everything like that. I want to figure that one out. So if we can't fix it this year, why spend? Exactly. That's great. I think Abbotsford's the answer right now. Not saying tank, but just wait for the big fish. I agree. I loved your video on Don't Give Up on Demko, your TikTok video. I think that was excellent. Or was it your YouTube video? Yeah, I don't want to give up on Demko. I love Demko. Thatcher is he's awesome when healthy. Okay, Sensei Dean, good to see you. I think Hronek has to shoot more this year. Those heavy Sammy Salo type shots, or they'll trade him next year. I don't think he has a shot like him, in my opinion. I don't think they're the same player. And Hronek just doesn't score. 184 people in the stream, everyone. This is awesome. Kevin K. The one that will age horribly is OEL, of course. Still our curse, 100%. The rest are okay except Petey. If Petey bounces back, it's a good one. If he's a 90-plus player for the rest of his career, that Petey contract's fine. Jack says, also, how many other teams have a black hole at center? Lots. Sure, it's a hole, but 15 other teams have the same problem. The problem is, man, you got to get in the top 8 of the conference to make the playoffs. So our goaltending and defense is better than most of those teams. I agree. Yeah, are we going to be the New Jersey Devils and go back to the what's called not the lock, not dump and chase? You guys know what I'm talking about. The defense wins championships. The trap. That's what it is. The good thing for the OAL contract is that it's only for 2 more years. Then I think it's under $1 million. Yep. Penguins are the only team that want to sell 100%. That's why we keep hearing their names. Yeah, of course. Coach Rob Willie's in the building. Sounds good, Rob. I got your message. I messaged you back. So check your email. Chris says, I'm joking. If Penguins aren't going to renew Malkin's next year, how about him? Yeah, Malkin, Crosby, a lot of people saying they should trade him. I don't know if they'll ever do that. Kevin says, I think it's only the media saying that we need a second-line center. No, I think way more teams. What if Kane can keep Hedl safe? Does that change everything? Yes. I don't think Kane can keep Hedl safe. All it takes is one hit. The hit that came, it happened, and then the Canucks were supposed to respond and didn't. I think Kane is the only expiring contract. Yeah. What is Ratu ceiling? Reliable 3C, or does he have more potential? I mean, what would be a blessing is Ratu becomes our second line center and balls out. That would be awesome. That would be the answer. I think third line center is definitely there. Maybe that's why the Bluger rumors keep coming. Hey, Carol, good to see you. Coach Rob saying $14 million for Hughes. Bliss stated 8 times 13.75. Wow, you guys got those. I mean, I would still be happy if we got him for that. I'm not happy about this at all. It must be the one. No, I mean, we get attached to their players, right? So, Joshua moving, that sucks for our team in the way, but it is what it is. We needed to move out cap space. He's a cap casualty, right? Jack says, yeah, but if we sign and trade, it would be for a massive haul. Not necessarily. Look at what happened to Marner. New Jersey fans think they're going to scam us or get him for free. That's just not happening, is basically what I'm saying. That definitely could happen. They could just say, we're going to wait, and he's just going to sign with us. That could totally happen. I'm going to do a video on this, so I won't comment that. Yeah, I think Hedl should retire for his own sake. Brain injuries don't get better. You're right. But it is his life, and he's talking to the doctors, so I don't want to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but it does scare me for his future health. I predict Quinn Hughes will sign for 8 years, sign $4.3 million. I say he wants the 43 in the number like Sidney Crosby did with his contract. Wouldn't it be better if it was $4.3 million? Joshua deserved a full healthy year before the Canucks management moved on. G says, gave up on him. Looks like a cold move in my eyes. Plus, Nucks need more grit and size, not less. You're valid. All the things you said here are valid. They were in a cap bind, and this is the player that players wanted to move or were interested in obtaining. Yeah, I understand, Carol, that nobody's happy that we moved Joshua. It's just that we had to move somebody, and he was the cap casualty. We don't suck. We just don't have much of an identity. We can't score. We aren't fast, and we don't have size and grit. Yeah, that's bad. McKinnon's also a winger, by the way, an extremely talented stud winger, but doesn't solve their center problem. True? Jay says, ridiculous trade period. How many fourth rounders do we need? We could have at least received a second rounder from him. Jay, in theory, this sounds great. You don't think that the Canucks, if the Canucks got offered a second round pick for him, they would have said, let's do it? If they were willing to take a fourth, I don't think that Joshua's worth a second round pick. In fact, what happened today proves that he isn't, because they couldn't find anyone that would give him that. Feel bad for Joshua. He deserves better. That's fair. How did you become a member? Maybe you got it when someone gifted a membership and then you became a member. Yeah, it's a big if for sure. Yeah, you were gifted one last stream, Carol. That's nice. Yeah, it's the trap. Anyone that says tank for McKenna, do you know that the last place team in the NHL is still unlikely to win the draft lottery? I'm with you. Yes. Not the email? You didn't get an email back from me? Draft. Just looking at my emails right now. Rob, I sent you an email today at 4:52 p.m. Check your junk mail. I haven't checked out his channel. I should go check it out. It's playing the trap. Okay, I gotta get down. You guys have probably tons of comments here. I hope we can get chemistry, because you can load up your roster and still suck like Nashville. Yeah, right. That Nashville conversation actually quite interesting. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know. Let's just look real quick. I'll do quick research here. $23 right-handed shot, centerman, winger, 1.7 million. I mean, they want to get younger, right? They don't want to get, they want to stay young. They want to get older. So I don't think Blueger is not going to move the needle for him. Good idea. Don't think Pittsburgh get interested. Jack, 20 million, and we have to sign Kane, Blueger, and Sherwood. We're in good shape cap-wise to get a big fish next year. Perfect. Roy, how many superstars win the cup without taking a salary cut? I mean, I think people are pretty fairly paid, so I'm not sure. Where do you think Höglander ends up in the lineup? That's a great question. I can see him on the top line with Pettersson, and I can also see him on the third line with Ratu and Sherwood. There's so much things that we can talk about, right? On all our channels, because these are now the conversations that start. Lefty all around, good to see you. Joshua's making $3.2 million for the next 3 years. He should be thanking the Canucks for giving him that much money. You're not sad that we traded him. Overpaid and too long of a contract. That's fair. Who is going to be in the up-and-coming teams in the next 3 years will depend on who and what we do now. I agree. Shelov's got more than Joshua. He did. Is that Shelov's? Is that, or sorry, I don't know who you're talking about there. Trev, are the Nucks a top 3 vanilla team in the NHL going into next season? I think the Canucks are going to be a wild card playoff team. They are going to make the playoffs, and they're going to get one of the last wild card spots. That's my prediction. Lefty around. That is all you could get for Joshua as a 4th rounder. Wake up, people who think he is worth a second. He's not worth a second. I think he's worth a 2nd rounder, but no one was willing to pay it. Hedl is really good. It's such a shame the head injuries have impacted his career so heavily. I still think he's a great 3rd line center. He's a decent 2nd line center. I wouldn't even say he's average second line center, but the injury thing is tough. Yeah, but if it's a sign and trade, it doesn't have to be New Jersey. Yeah. But he has to sign it to trade. Like, so he's in a little bit more of the driver's seat than you think. He's not burning away $30 million. That's the thing. He's not. Okay, guys, we're at an hour. Okay. Let's I don't even think Hedl got a concussion on that hit. Yeah, he did. He did. That's what so Murray from New Zealand, good to see you. With the new CBA coming up, would get more money signing with the Canucks than New Jersey. Look at I agree. I agree. I think he's staying, everyone. Yeah, he will be on there this year for sure. Okay. I've got to run, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. 185 people here tonight. That's awesome. Alfred was saying was the first one to make a comment. What's next? A large package at 2C. Justin was the next one. If we're making a big trade, I'm okay with this. But if it's just Roslovic, then I'm about to give up. Don't fear. Rod that says this is a great trade. Let's go. You got Dell saying we lost some grit. True. Simon is in the building. Callum was showed up too. Good to see you. Love the people you love before they're gone, just like DJ, just like your friends and families. Yep, for sure. And then Shane was here too. Yeah, Callum, sorry for your friend's loss. That's really sad. Canuckland says that they're stacking them up to get Luke and Jack Hughes. I'm all in on that. Excuse me. I don't know why. Maybe it's this jersey keeps hitting here. Okay. Gotta go. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Appreciate you all. Have a great night. Great conversation. Let's just keep sharing this team on. Let's not get into the negative, depressed, dark state. Let's stay positive. Let's see what this team does. Let's see what this management does. But it's all not dark and gloomy. Have a great night and go Canucks go.